administration. So the organizers of the No Kings protest are saying that there are nearly 7 million people at more than 2,700 events in all 50 states of America, where the police are also claiming that these protests, while they are mostly peaceful, there are many large cities where many are coming in to march against Donald Trump administration. What are these protests about? Demonstrators are saying that they are voicing outrage at a range of policies by US President Donald Trump, but some of the key themes that have taken center stage are the ones that include, the perceived threats to democracy, the administration's ICE raids, and also troop deployments in cities in the United States. Then also one of the themes is cuts to federal programs, especially healthcare. So protesters have been saying that, they're absolutely angry with these policies of Donald Trump administration. The government for now seems to be at a standstill in the United States because these protests are coming in the backdrop of a federal government shutdown with GOP lawmakers and the White House locked in a standoff with Democrats over a funding bill. So one, you have that kind of a lockdown, then you have these No Kings protests. So the organizers of the No Kings protests say that they are protesting against Donald Trump's authoritarian regime. Those are the kind of posters that they've come out with. They are also saying that the Trump administration's ICE raids, troop deployments in Democrat-led states are unacceptable. Huge rallies are, being organized across states. Now, Donald Trump, too, not the one to pull back, not the one to, remain silent when there are these kind of protests happening, when he's facing these kind of criticism. What did Donald Trump say? Let's get you that reaction of the U.S. president. So, Donald Trump, in his quintessential style, mocks the No Kings protest. What has he done? As these protests are sweeping, cities in the United States, he has taken a jibe. How has he taken a jibe? He put out a post and he reshared that post, which shows him coronating himself. This was a video that was originally posted by J.D. Vance. This also shows Democrat leaders who are bowing to the protest. So in this way, in a way to mock the No Kings protesters, Donald Trump shows himself as one who's been coronated, taking a jibe and, hitting back at his detractors and critics in this manner. Let me go across to Srinjoy Chaudhary. Srinjoy, first of all, we are looking at these sweeping protests, multiple of them across American cities, being called the No Kings protests. Donald Trump, unfazed, in his own quintessential style, mocks the protesters. His supporters are calling these Hate America rallies. How do you look at this development that's taking place in the United States?
It's important to note that President Trump will be in power for the next 3 years. And if you want to defeat him, these protests are all very well. They can get enormous traction. But the most important thing is to win elections. And if you have to win, if you have to remove President Trump, if you have to defang President Trump, if you don't like President Trump, you have to defeat him electorally. And the most important issue that is coming up is the midterm election in the United States within a year or so. Now, if you do well there, then Donald Trump will be less powerful. The question is, can the Democrats manage to do it? They have not been very successful in terms of elections, that they've allowed Donald Trump to win twice, not once, but twice. And this last time, with the majority, clearly suggests democratic failure. Democratic failure.
Srinjoy, the kind of perception that is being built because of these protests that are taking place right now, do you think the Trump administration is affected? Are they going to do anything to, manage the perception, or is Donald Trump going to be, he will keep hitting out at his detractors with the kind of post that he puts out?
Well, President Trump is President Trump. He will always be the way he is. But the point is that the best way to defeat Donald Trump is in an election, because it's a democratic country and the midterm elections are coming up.
All right.
The important point is, this is all very well, but there are two things here that must be kept in mind. The fact that this impasse that has happened is hurting the American people. It is hurting the American economy.
Right.
Now the American people will have to decide who is responsible for it. Is it the Democrats in the Congress, or is it the president? So you have to explain to the people of America and the people of the world who is responsible for this shutdown. That's the first thing. Then you have to prepare for the midterm elections. Now, if these protests actually gain traction, then it will be a positive thing. The important thing is to persuade the voters in America that you, as the Democratic Party and as Democratic candidates, are the better than President Trump and his people. If you can succeed, then you've done well. If you fail, then you failed. So you failed a year ago. What can you do in a year? What can you do in 3 years? That's really the question.
All right. All right. Thank you, Srijay, for putting that story into perspective. We'll keep coming back to all the developments as they take place across cities in the United States. So the protests against the Donald Trump administration in U.S. is escalating, but the Trump administration seems unfazed with that. Time for us to take a short break.